Houston Texans and our home team. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. On first down, Vaughn. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
First down, Houston.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. Now it's Watson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Watson on target here to Fuller. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Watson looks to throw again. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Yellow. Let's go on, 80. 50. Check tight end. Check 43. 43.
Mahomes now on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. We got it. We got it. We got it. Yellow. Yellow. Check. 55 to mine. Check.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 37-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kyle Van Noy just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. To throw, it's Mahomes. He finds Corey Davis. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
A 49-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. first down throw. Watson got an open man. It's QT. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's going to have the hook up to QT. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Hey, boom, boom. Hey, one set, check, Mike.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he lost the football.
The offense retains possession.
Watson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Check 3.
Back to throw, Watson. And his pass incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. Takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. This is taken at the 10. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual. As we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Push him back. 15.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Yellow. Arms go wide, 80s. At 57.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Me and you on deck. On deck. I'm coming.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Carlson able to put this one through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yellow.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Here's Mahomes to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Attack, attack! 66. Bullet high. Hey, watch it. 15.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Right there.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. To throw again on second down. Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
17 yards. First down, Houston.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Out of the gun, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
First down.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Going to throw again. He's going to loft it. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have got his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Fight on these two. Let's go on, Eddie. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Completes it to Davis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Corey Davis, 34 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they are really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
They have been dominant in this one. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Yellow. 50. Check my 50. I'm coming.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Yellow. Let's go on, Eddie. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watson operating from the gun. Open man is QT, complete.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And a loose football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go play action here on first down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
All day.
To the air yet again, Watson. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Yellow. That's a line. 50, Mike, 50. Watch
They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. And the crowd on its feet, and understandably so. They are Super Bowl bound after taking that knee.
How about the ability to celebrate not just winning a championship, but to do it with your fans on your home field? What a great collaboration for them all year long.
And with this win and an AFC championship, they have reached the most hallowed ground in all of sports.
That means they are the best in their conference. What an incredible feeling for this team to go through the entire season and come out on top and now go to the Super Bowl for the right to be called world champion.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship for Charles Davis.